to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, and with thanksgiving I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Then I'm serious to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, and with thanksgiving I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Asulis mikdash v'shachanti betocham va'anachnu nevarech yam me'ata ve'ad
I feel somewhat overwhelmed just seeing you all here in the sanctuary tonight, knowing that there are thousands more of you joining us virtually from all over. You have embraced something very powerful by showing up with us tonight. A terrorist tried to steal Shabbat from us last week. Claiming it this week is an act of resistance. In Rabbi Charlie Citron Walker's first television interview after he bravely escaped 11 hours of captivity, the interviewer brought up how hard it must have been and asked, "Have you thought about going back into that building?" And Charlie looked almost surprised by the question. "Oh, of course. It's something we're definitely going to do. Unfortunately, we've experienced great difficulty and challenges as a people. At the same time, we've experienced great resilience. It won't be an easy thing, but it's an important thing." So this is what resilience looks like. We go back into our sanctuaries. We claim Shabbat. We support each other in community. I'm Rabbi Angela Buchdahl. I'm so grateful to be here with my clergy colleagues, Rabbi Sarah Berman, Cantor Dan Mutlu, Rabbi Mo Salf. I know my other clergy colleagues are joining us virtually with our president, Dr. Shani Silverberg. I'm always grateful to be with our musicians who uplift our worship, to have our incredible AV team who helps us bring this to a much wider community, to our maintenance team, to our incredible staff. And tonight I also want to make a particular thank you to our security who every week keep us safe. We are very grateful. I also really want to make a special welcome to our interfaith clergy colleagues who are here from Heavenly Rest, from St. Bart's, from St. Peter's, from Hope Midtown, from the Albanian Islamic Cultural Center, from St. Peter's Church. We are so deeply grateful that you are with us and showing up with us for this Shabbat. And we are going to be joined tonight by our new New York City Mayor, Eric Adams, and we are very grateful that he will also be with us and stand with us tonight. So let us welcome in the peace of Shabbat to bring in this extra light, which I know we all need. I'd like to welcome to the Bima Danica and Charles Gould, and by Zoom joining us, the Rickert family. I think Mia's kind of given the honor here if they can join us. Oh, it's good to see you, Rickerts. Shabbat Shalom. And I invite you to join us as we bring in the lights of Shabbat.
Asher Kaddish
We continue welcoming Shabbat together with Shiru Ladonai.
Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash, Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai, Baruchu Shemo, Basru meyom leyom Yeshuato. Sapru v'goyim kevodo, bechol ha'amim niflotav, ki gadol Adonai, u'olam te'or, narahu, al kol Elohim. Shiru Ladonai, Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash, Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai, Baruchu Shemo, Basru miyom leyom Yeshuato, Sapru v'goyim kevodo, v'chol ha'amim niflotav, ki gadol Adonai, u'olam te'or, narahu, al kol Elohim. Yai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai yai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai 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 lai lai lai, yai
continue singing our psalms of praise, of joy, and of welcome to Shabbat with Zamru Ladonai, which is on the order of service.
Zamru Ladonai, Zamru Ladonai bechino, Yai lai lai lai, lai 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 lai, lai 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 lai, lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai. Zamru Ladonai bechino, bechino bechino.
exactly sure what we were going to sing tonight, but we knew exactly which Lachado D we were going to do because the grandfather of our bat mitzvah really only believes there's one Lachado D. And this is it. Okay. No, it's okay. All right. Okay. Ya la 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 Lachado Di, ya la 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 likrat kala, ya la 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 b'nei Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat nekabel, ya la 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 Lachado Di, ya la 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 likrat kala, ya la 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 b'nei Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor, Shamor v'zachor, b'diburecha, b'diburecha, tishmianu el hamyuchad, Adonai echad, Adonai echad, ושמו אחד, לשמו תפארת ולתהילה. יללי, יללי, לחגוגי, יללי, לקראת כלה, יללי, בני שבת, בני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת, לכו ונלכה, כי מקום הברכה. מראש מכן, לסוכה, סוף מעשה, למחשבה תחילה. עטרת בלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני המסגולה. Shabbat,
Shabbat in our midst and already on our feet in body or in spirit, we turn to page 146 for our call to prayer. Baruch Hu. Please be seated. And I invite you to join me in the Hebrew on page 147. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chochma poteach sha'arim, uvidvuna meshane itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umisader et hakochavim, b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtsono, Borei Yom V'Laila, Golel Or Mipnei Choshech, V'Choshech Mipnei Or.
Umavir Yom, Umevil Laila, Umabdil Ben Yom Ben Laila, Adonai Tzvaot Shemo, El Chai V'Kayam, Tamid Yimloch Aleinu Leolam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamari Varavi.
Please join me responsively in the English on page 148. In each age, we receive and transmit Torah. At each moment, we are addressed by the world.
In each age, we are challenged by our ancient teaching. At each moment, we stand face to face with truth.
In each age, we add our wisdom to that which has gone before. At each moment, the knowing heart is filled with wonder.
In each age, the children of Torah become its builders and seek to set the world firm on a foundation of truth.
Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol lebavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha ve'hayu הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם להיות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם אלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם
It's Sinai's foot that wherever we go, it's eternally Egypt.
That there's a better place, a promised land, and the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness. That there's no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together,
Singing la 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 ya la la ya la la ya la 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 ya la la ya la ya
The ground shifted beneath all of us last Shabbat, leaving so many of us feeling vulnerable, feeling lonely, feeling unsafe. But to be honest, for many among us, those feelings were already present in our all too precarious lives. Prayer cannot solve the world's ills, but it can bring us comfort, it can bring us connection, and it can bring us closer to God's sheltering presence. We pray for all of these things, joining together now in Hashkivenu on our order of service.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom, v'hamidenu makeinu l'chaim. Frost aleinu sukkah shalom lecha, ufrost aleinu sukkah shalom lecha. Shelter us beneath your wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. Hashkivenu Adonai
ושלום, והעמידנו מגנו לחיים. ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך.
We invite you to rise once again for Amidah, beginning on page 155.
Adonai שפתי תפתח ופי אגיד תהילתך. אדוני שפתי תפתח ופי אגיד תהילתך. That my mouth may declare your praise. Oh, Adonai, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Adonai, שפתי תפתח יגיד תהילתך. אדוני שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק, ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל, ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואמהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי מתים, אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי מתים ברחמים רבים, צומח נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בר גבורות ומדומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות מתים. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי המתים. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
We continue with the words on the page or in our own hearts silently. Please be seated when you are ready.
המצר קראתיה, ענני ומרחביה, עודך כי אני תעני ותהי לי לישועה. עודך כי אני תעני ותהי לי לישועה. ענני, 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 answer me. ענני, 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 answer me. ענני, 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 answer me. ענני, 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 I called out to you from a narrow place. Your answer came to me from a wide open space. My heart cried out to you wherever you are. Your hand reached out to me. Min hametzah. Aneni, 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 answer me. Aneni, 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 answer me. Aneni, 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 answer me. Aneni, 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 oh, answer me. Aneni, 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 answer me. Aneni, 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 oh, answer me. Aneni, 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 answer me. Aneni, 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 min hametzah.
In distress, from a narrow place, I called out to Adonai, and God answered me and brought me relief. With these words that our Rabbi and Cantor just brought into this sanctuary, resonating throughout this sanctuary from the book of Psalms, we now pray for those in our community and beyond who are in need of healing. I read now names of dear ones connected to our congregation: Kathy Barron, Aline Berger, Simcha Ben Sarah, Amy Bloom, Donald Brief, Grayson Schuyler Bloom, Jerry Calderon, Lou Chen, Alexander Cohen, Joel Deutsch, Corey Flaum, Jerry Friedman, Susan Friedman, Ziggy Galit, Zelik Gresser, Benjamin Hirsch, Howard Hochberg, the James family, Karen Capel Kaunitz, Sherry Koss, Melissa Kaufman, Arlene Klein, Larry Lewis, Kendall March, Carrie Miller. Cordelia Miras, Nancy Nadell, Bobby Palmer, Kurt Pliskin, Marty Reingold, Ed Rice, Sandy Shupper, Lynn Silverman, Linda Snedeker, Candace Smilo, Bill Smith, Elena Sotelo, Jacob Stuchner, Francine Wolf, and Mona Wolpe. I invite you now to say aloud or in your hearts names of those that you are praying for this Shabbat. We know this week many of us felt in need of repair as we processed the news that was coming from Texas. And we are grateful and relieved for the safe release of those taken hostage in our sister congregation near Fort Worth. And we are so grateful to the friends who reached out to us, who said in many different ways that we stand with you and we love you. We can only begin to express how meaningful and important your support was to us. And we're honored to have some of these friends with us tonight. I'd like to call them forward now to join us in our prayer for healing. Pastor Drew Hunn from Hope Midtown, Reverend Peter Thompson and Reverend Meredith Ward from St. Bart's, Imam Dr. Tahir Kukai from the Albanian Islamic Cultural Center, and Reverend Cindy Stravers from the Church of Heavenly Rest. We also have Pastor Jared Staller from right across the street, our friends at St. Peter's Church. Thank you for your friendship, and thank you for being with us. They'll be leading us now in a prayer written by Rabbi Charlie Citron Walker, the rabbi from the congregation Beth Israel in Texas. The prayer's refrain is, "We are not helpless." And we invite you to say these words aloud when we do.
We are not helpless.
We bring healing with Band-Aids and hugs, a cup of coffee and chicken soup.
We are not helpless.
We bring healing with a text, a call, a card, a response that says, "You are not alone."
We are not helpless.
We bring healing with acceptance, patience, and understanding for ourselves and for others.
We are not helpless.
We bring healing with words of compassion and acts of compassion, reaching out with care and love.
We are not helpless.
We bring healing to heart and mind, body and soul. We bring healing every day.
We are not helpless.
Let there be love and understanding among us.
Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
We are not helpless.
Let us sing our Misha Berach, our prayer for healing, together.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit,
is my great honor to invite up to our bima our new mayor of New York, Eric Adams. May you, Mayor, be blessed with the strength to help rebuild this city, to unite us across our many divisions, to keep us safe and secure, and know that we, as your partners in faith in this city, are with you in helping make this city the great city that it can continue to be. Thank you for moving mountains to be with us tonight. It's deeply meaningful.
Shabbat shalom. Shakespeare had a way of writing tragedies at the depth of the human experience. I believe it's a Shakespearean tragedy when I go throughout the city and experience houses of worship, and people don't realize the joy and beauty from the different houses of worship. The cross-pollination of our spiritual experiences is what something I think far too many people missed. And I did not have to understand the language to feel the language in my heart. The beauty of song, the beauty of moments and sounds, it resonates. And probably more than ever, we need that cross-pollination. I'm sorry for the movement of my staff earlier. We have a crisis that's unfolding right now where 2 officers were shot that I'm going to go visit when I leave you. But I want to reflect on when a story I often tell of dropping my son off to college. And Rabbi, I remember taking him to American University. And I questioned the head of the school for about 20 minutes to a half an hour. And he finally placed his hands on my shoulders. And he looked at me and he said, "Eric, I just dropped my daughter off to school in Carolina." He realized I was going through separation anxiety. 18 years of watching my baby grow up, I was not willing to turn over my son to someone unless they understood the depth of my investment. And I smiled and I said, "He gets it. He gets it. I can't place my hands on your shoulders tonight, but I want you to know I get it. I get it that we are feeling a level of anxiety, not only from COVID, but from the sirens we hear often. I get it that you're looking at the increase in anti-Semitism and you're worrying about your children. I get it that we're concerned about the economic stability of our city. But I also get it that we have a rabbi here that showed a level of calmness and true belief in her faith as the hostage situation unfolds. And I get it that many of you know that this city is a city we can celebrate the beauty of our diversity. And all our lives, we know that light pushes away evil. And this is our moment to lean into our faith and ensure that we can have a city that everyone can enjoy what this city has to offer. And also get something else. This is the only country where a dream is attached to our name. It's not a German dream. It's not a Polish dream. It's not a French dream. But there's an American dream. There's an American dream. And we have the obligation of ensuring that that dream is something that everyone experiences. And I spent 22 years of wearing a bulletproof vest protecting the children and families of this city. This is the moment that my city and your city is going to ensure that we shed the light of peace and harmony throughout our entire country. Many people remember September 11th and how devastating it was to watch those 2 buildings collapse. I reflect on that day, but I remember mostly September 12th. We got up. Teachers taught, builders built, doctors healed. America looked towards us and regained its confidence and its resiliency. Once again, we are facing the terror of all of the things that are happening in our city and country. In New York, this is our obligation to get up again, to make sure that people know that we are resilient, we're loving, we're kind. This is our opportunity to show who we are. And I believe in all my heart, borrowing from the owner of Snapple soft drink, we're going to win because we're made of the best stuff on earth. We're New Yorkers. Thank you very much. Happy Shabbos.
Just join us on the floor. Thank you.
Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you, Mayor Adams. We're going to keep you for one more prayer, Mayor, our prayer of celebration, because no doubt tonight we are counting our blessings with you here, with our friends here. And so it is our custom that if I say something that is true for you, I'll invite you to rise and remain standing. If you're becoming a bat mitzvah tomorrow and we're thinking about our other bar mitzvah, we'll invite you to rise. Chloe, you can rise. Ian, at home, you can rise. Just take a look around, Chloe. Just turn around for a second. Look at your congregation. We stand with you today. We stand behind you today. We're so proud of you, Mazel Tov. And I'll invite your parents and grandparents and your siblings and friends to rise. And we say congratulations to your whole clan. If you're celebrating a birthday this week or in the week ahead, I'll invite you to rise. If it's your anniversary this week or in the week ahead, I'll invite you to rise. If you're on the mend from a recent illness or procedure, we'll invite you to rise, and we wish you continued health and strength. And if you are inspired and buoyed by these wonderful friends and neighbors and our mayor here in our presence at Central Synagogue, or if you're just happy to be here for Shabbat, we'll invite you to rise and sing our song of thanksgiving, the Shechianu.
When I sat down to write this sermon, I couldn't even begin. And then I realized I needed to start with something that Jews have done for centuries, which is to begin with a blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam matir asurim. Blessed are you, eternal God, who frees the captive. You freed the captives. Thank God. The alternative was unimaginable. And of course, it is not only God who deserves gratitude and praise for the freeing of the 4 held captive for 11 hours in a synagogue in Colleyville, Texas, last Shabbat. I'm thanking and blessing Rabbi Charlie Citron Walker, who showed unearthly calm, unflagging humanity, and heroic courage in unthinkable circumstances. And I bless the 3 other congregants who are also my heroes, models of strength and selflessness when they were facing the possible end of their lives. I'm also grateful to Central's head of security, Brian Vaughn, and Mitch Silber, the New York Jewish community's security expert, to law enforcement and FBI for how seriously they took the crisis, and the many Jewish organizations who work to keep our community safe in ways we don't always see or acknowledge. I wanted to begin with gratitude because that was the overwhelming emotion I felt when the siege was over. But after that initial relief, I could not find words because my secondary rush of feelings have been much harder to digest, more ominous. I knew I would be addressing you, my beloved community, and you would want and need words of comfort and hope from your rabbi. But I do not have those words for you. Not yet. I cannot assure you that this will not happen again. I do not have a neat pronouncement for how we will fight back the alarming, ugly growth of anti-Semitism. I cannot tell you that I'm not replaying Rabbi Citron Walker's unfaltering voice on my voicemail. We have an actual gunman who is claiming to have bombs, and he wants to talk to you. If you can call me back at this number, that would be greatly appreciated. This is not a joke. Thank God, this terrifying episode ended safely, but not simply, and I remain deeply unsettled. And if you are a Jew in America and you are not feeling unsettled, then you are not paying attention. I'm unsettled because the world only has the most simplistic understanding of anti-Semitism. If someone says they hate Jews or they want to kill Jews, we call it anti-Semitism. But even educated people, the director of the FBI, do not recognize its far more insidious guise as the trope that Jews are all-powerful and control everything. We saw how dangerous that age-old conspiracy theory can be. I'm unsettled because I saw firsthand that you cannot negotiate with a terrorist. And more people in our country and around the globe are captivated by terrifying, hateful ideologies which they value more than their own lives. I'm unsettled because Rabbi Citron Walker's kindness and humanity were used against him. He opened his doors to this man and gave him a cup of tea. This rabbi welcomes the stranger, and this is his reward? We have to protect ourselves. We cannot be naive. But I also know that if we only build fortresses around our sanctuaries and around our hearts, then hate wins. I'm unsettled because I heard the terrifying voice of radical extremism filtered through the mind of a deranged person who was able to get a gun and then hold 4 people and an entire Jewish community hostage for 11 hours. I think of the ripple effects that this man set off and the countless resources that we will spend to prevent it from happening again. When the gunman called me a second time, he said, I'm running out of patience, and you are running out of time. I had already talked to the authorities. I knew there was nothing else I could do but wait and pray. And I really prayed. A trembling, pleading prayer, the words we've already said tonight, the same words I heard that Rabbi Charlie Citron Walker uttered when he was being held in captivity. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom, v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Help us lie down in peace, Adonai, and to rise up to life renewed. You could say that my prayer, all of our prayers, were answered. The prayers of those 4 families and the congregation, the prayers of a breathless worldwide Jewish community. But we've emerged, and now we are angry and anxious and fearful. And I cannot tell you not to feel those things. I am feeling them myself, and I don't quite know what to do next. But I knew that this was not where I could end this sermon. So I looked to our Torah portion. This week it's Parshat Yitro, Jethro. And the message was so pertinent, it almost felt like God was winking at me. Right there, the line jumped out. Lo tuchal asehu levadecha. You cannot do this alone. This was Jethro's line to Moses, who was consumed under the weight of leadership. But this message is truly for all of us. None of us can do this alone. I know I could not have been on those calls on Saturday without my husband Jacob right at my side and Rabbi Citron Walker's steady voice on the other side. I know I felt lifted by all the notes, the love, and the care I felt from this congregation, all of you, from my central colleagues, my Hartman rabbis, my friends. I could not do this without all of you showing up tonight, whether in this sanctuary or online. You are showing up not just for Central, but for Judaism. You're showing up for fearlessness in the face of fear. None of us can do this alone, even as this pandemic has tested us and forced us to feel more alone than we ever thought we would have to be. But our tradition keeps pushing us back into community and tells us not only that we need to do this with each other, but we need to create bridges outside the Jewish community as well. It is important that the person who shared the essential wisdom of this Torah portion, Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, is not Jewish. I saw every faith community show up for us last weekend, and I want to thank our interfaith clergy colleagues who are showing up for us tonight. And a big thank you to our Mayor, Eric Adams. It was so deeply meaningful and reassuring that you were here. We need to partner with people of every faith and of good faith in the fight against anti-Semitism and racism and radical extremism and hatred of every kind. We cannot do it alone. And thank God we don't have to. I began with one blessing, and I want to conclude with another, taken from Zechariah. The Reform movement incorporated these prophetic words into the service on Tisha B'Av, which is the day that commemorates so many of the most tragic episodes of Jewish history. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher asanu asirei tikva. Blessed are you, Adonai, who makes us captives of hope. I'm not yet ready to muster a message of optimism tonight, but I cannot escape it eventually, because we, as a Jewish people, are unshakably, doggedly, eternally captives of hope. Shabbat Shalom. We turn now to a prayer of hope, a day when the world shall be one. I invite you to please rise with me.
עלינו לשבח לדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
Please be seated.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה.
A poem by the late Central member Judith Hertz. We ponder the past, we think about the future. Where have we been? Where are we now? What is the connection? What heritage did I receive from my parents? What will I bequeath to my children and grandchildren? What gifts have I received from my brothers, my sisters, my friends? What can I give to others? Where does my people, my community, fit in my life? If I can make someone's life better, I will not regret the past. If I can help someone grow, I will not fear the future. Oh God, let me make some mark on this world. Let me create some image. Let me leave some memory of myself, if only even for an instant. Let someone think or say, the world is better because I passed this way. We all live in a world made better by those who passed this way before us, our family members, beloved friends, teachers, and mentors. We are in their debt as we hold them and their memories in our hearts forever. This week, the Central Synagogue community mourns the recent passing of Jean Nicole Bass, daughter of Renee Fisherman and Jules Bass, and sister of Jennifer Fisherman Ruff. Judith Brinberg, wife of Simeon and mother of Paul and Lisa. Shirley Fishbein, wife of Elliot, mother of Sherry Siller and Amy Coslow. Gary Friedenberg, father of Joanna Berman and Stephen Friedenberg. Gerald Keel, husband of Roberta, father of Dana Hornstein and Julie Sobetsko. Ruth Cravton, mother of Patricia. Edwin Rose. Estelle Rothenberg, mother of Jackie Friedman and Ernie Roth. And Ellen Siegel, sister of Anne Muradpour. In our community, we also mark the passing of those who died in service to this country and those who were slain in this country in mass shootings. We mourn both as national tragedies. Thank goodness there are no deaths within our military to report this week. But among the civilian deaths in mass shootings are Brandon Capers, age 32, and 2 unnamed victims. We remember those who died at this season in years past, whose yahrzeits we commemorate this Shabbat. Alan Ades, Lauren Adolfson, Herbert Barg, Pearl Barrett, Edward Baum, George Bell, Elena Bernstein, Naomi Binstock, Nathan Blonstein, Harriet Braunstein, Andrew Brooks, Harold Berg, Lewis Carroll, Michael J. Chasanoff, Joan Meyer Cimino, Charles Dickinson, Albert Dunn, George Eisenpresser, Bonnie Bevan Emery, Eugene Azursky, Michael Foyer, Daniel Jordan Fiddle, Arthur Freeman, Ethel Freeman, Marilyn Friedman, William Gamzon, George Gingold, Bruce Goldberg, Ann Goldenson, Natalie Bell Gray, Jason Green, William Greenwald, Veda Kaplan Gresser, Rose Grossman, Janet Haber, Richard Heitner, Hedwig Hirsch, William Huth, Sidney Immergut, Daniel Isaacson, Elliot Jaffe, Carol Luann Johnson, Samuel Jonas, Albert Kane, Howard Katz, Solomon Katz, Dorothy Katzman, Dara Kaufman, Alex Kessler, John Kreuter, Carl Levin, Haskell Lazaire, Ira Levinson, Beverly Levy, David Levy, Alicia Sosa List, Marvin Lowenberger, Tom Lowenstein, Herman Margulies, Paul Marks, Samuel May, Joseph Mazer, Miriam Molk, Lila Morrison, Sylvia Moss, Wayne Myers, Selma Oppenheim, Margot Oppenheimer, Norman Orentreich, Susan Patrikoff, Warren Rich, Harvey Roseman, Albert Rosenberg, Samuel Rovner, Vera Rovner, Arlene Schill, Alvin Schragus, Phyllis Sirota, Irene Shore, Tony Stone Shore, Miriam Schulklapper, Judith Lash Silber, Dorothy Simon, Stephen Simon, Victor Sklar, Martha Sobel, Susanna Sobolioski, Carl Spiro, Sylvia Swerdlick, Jerome Erkin, Edward Weiss, and Jack Zakin. I invite you, if you are marking the first week of mourning a death, Shiva, to please rise. If you are marking the first month of mourning, Shloshim. If you are marking the first year of mourning, Shana. Or if tonight is the anniversary of a loss, Yahrzeit. And now together, as one community united in love and loss, we all rise to recite Mourner's Kaddish on page 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, v'yalma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayei u'vyomei v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, v'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'elam olamei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, Vid hadar, vid alev, vid halal, shemei dekudasha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechamata, v'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen.
Ve'imeru amen. Ve'imeru amen. Ve'imeru amen. Ve'imeru
Thank you feels like a feeble term to thank all of you for being here with us this evening, showing up here in our sanctuary, joining us online, and especially to our friends, the mayor, and our guests from St. Peter's, from Hope Midtown, St. Bart's, the Albanian Islamic Cultural Center, and the Church of Heavenly Rest. We invite everybody to join us for Shabbat services every week on Friday night on any of our live stream platforms, including Facebook, YouTube, JBS, and our own website. Tomorrow morning, we will invite you to join us for our Mishkan service, our adult morning minyan via Zoom at 9:30 a.m., or to watch our live-streamed B'nai Mitzvah service. Mazel Tov to our B'nai Mitzvah, Chloe Gould and Ian Rickert. We will, in a moment, invite Chloe along with Azalea Weller, who we will, after services, invite to come up here for a special Ark blessing. So I'd love to invite Chloe and Azalea now to join us on the Bima to help us lead Kaddish and our Motzi blessings. Kaddish is on page 5 in our Siddur, in our prayer book.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddishanu b'mitzvotav beratzavanu, b'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'bratzon hinchilanu, zikaron le'maaseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila le'mikra'ei kodesh, zecher litziat Mitzrayim, kivanu v'acharta, be'otanu kiddashta, b'kol ha'amim, b'shabbat kodshecha, be'ahava u'b'ratzon, hinchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen.
A giant challah is coming your way.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Yeah, we're going to invite Imam Tahir Kukai to come back up here and sing with us. We have a prayer that we're going to build this world from love in 3 different languages tonight. We're going to need it.
Olam chesed yibane. We sing. Ya la 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 la.
Olam chesed yibane.
La 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 la. Olam chesed yibane. Ya la 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 la
chesed yibane. Yadadai, ladai, yadadai, ladai.
O donder toimte bod me dashuri.
Yadadai, ladai, yadadai, ladai.
Ti donder toshte bod me dashuri.
Yadadai, ladai, yadadai, ladai.
E sikur të ndërtojmë këtë botë me dashuri. Atëherë Zotin do të ndërtoj këtë botë me dashuri.
I will build this world from love.
And you must build this world from love.
And if we build this world from love,
Then God will build this world